Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can you hear me now? Great. Hey, first off, I want to thank everyone for being here today. I'll get to it in a second. Just give me a second here. March 4th is a date, was our last gig over at Bigley Center. We were playing for a Horizon League conference basketball tournament. And a week later, the world and life as we know it kind of turned upside down. But with each and every week and month, things get a little bit more regular. I don't know if normal's the right word to use, but we've had to reinvent everything we do. Essentially, we still play and we still read music, but processes as far as check-in, everything there that you know as alumni and former band members is all being dissected, just so everybody is safe, so we can enjoy moments today. And I think the last thing I'll say before we just do some warm-ups here, August 10th was our first day of camp. Camp was one-on-one, not 12-hour days, long days like we normally have. But in camp, if someone would have told all of us that we were preparing for a performance today, we would have been shocked to hear that. So we're thankful to be here today. We have a lot of exciting guests and friends. Our cheerleaders are here today. Let's give them a big round of applause. Also, to try to recreate some game day atmosphere and excitement, we have some other friends for us waiting down in the locker room. But for now, we're going to show you some of our warm-up sequences that we go through at the start of rehearsal to work on tone production, tuning, matching, balancing, listening, all that. So we're going to take 10 minutes to play some notes, and then we're going to get right into our show. Thanks again for being here. It's all good. Endurance corrals that we play work on building tone, control, pitch, balance, power, and presence too. So not a lot of tricks here, just working on good sound, controlling articulation, and some air to the horse. Good. Now we'll take a chance on volume. Okay. So with any training or athletes too, they overtrain to come back. So this is one of our things. We're going to take a chance on volume. It might sound a little rough, but then we'll dial that back in so we have even more power here. Here's the last run of our just warm-up corral. Here we go. Set. But for now, we're going to switch over to the regular part of our show. We're going to do some resetting here, and this is our pregame show in place. So go ahead and stand by, and we'll get reset.
loves those.
It doesn't take as many pictures as yours, but
Sure it does.
she says clear ones.
The days are getting shorter, the air a little cooler, and the leaves are starting to fall. Of course, October 2020 is a blue moon month with 2 full moons. One this past Thursday, and the next in 4 weeks, on Halloween. So let's pull out those red leather jackets, pull up the face masks, and get ready for some Thriller. In sunlight and starshine, we pay tribute to our great university, its alumni and its many supporters, and ask you to join us in all hail to the Youngstown, our YSU alma mater. It's time for you to join in as we wave the red and white across the field with the playing and singing of the YSU fight song.
like to thank Barron. We'd like to thank the Marching Pride for coming here. Marching Pride, let's give them a round of applause. To the cheerleaders, let's give them an applause. To team fans in Campbell Stadium, let's give them applause. And to Barron for giving us an opportunity. These student athletes, band members, cheerleaders, majorettes, dance line. It's been a different world the last 6 months. And what they've had to put themselves through just to get to campus. They're the boots on the ground here. And they're working each and every day, sacrificing to make sure they get better at what they do. And we're proud of our guys just as Barron is proud of his Marching Pride band. And we're going to continue to work. And the one thing we've learned through adversity and not having the ability to play this fall, that we're going to thrive, that we're going to come out of this better, we're going to learn from it, so we get ready to play on February 21st at North Dakota State. Thanks again. We can focus on those challenges, or we can try to find solutions. Every day we learn something new. Every week something we're more aware of to operate efficiently and safely with our students. We humbly say this. We don't want to boast. Hi, Shannon. How are you? We have not, so far, knock on wood, haven't had any outbreaks, and we've done a great job working with the university with their tracing system. Our students are proactive on that front. They have a lot to manage on their plate already as university students, plus just keep saying fundamental ways that we want them to connect, providing them space. Anyways, the drumline has been working. This is one of those groups since May that's been engaged, working really hard here online, not only online but here on campus since August. So this is Dylan Colab with Mitchell Top and the YSU drumline.
right, thank you so much, Drumline. While we don't have Penguin football right now, we do have some events that are coming up. Like we said, football in the spring. Hopefully, some basketball is coming up too. But just to make sure we haven't forgot the words to the fight song here. Wait for the red and white. We have sophomore. We have a new person joining us or leading us in the singing of the fight song and teaching the fight song this year. Noah Klein, a recent graduate of the Danish school, or rather the YSU is off on his way. So we have a new person teaching the fight song. This is Katie Berlin. She is a second-year music education major, and she's going to lead us back and forth here with some singing of the fight song, just to make sure we remember for some upcoming events. The next thing what I'd like to do is introduce the director of the Danish School of Music. He has some announcements and some remarks for upcoming events and goings on in the Danish school. This is Dr. Randy Goldberg.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I want to thank Brand, who has worked so diligently to find a way to keep the band running with all this adversity. Every class on the YSU campus has had to adapt to new ways of going about delivering coursework, and I don't think any class is more complicated than a band that features 200 students and staff. So thanks very much to you, and thanks very much to the band and cheerleaders and the majorettes and the penguinettes. Thanks so much. It's been a tough few months for the arts as far as being able to outreach with the public, which is what we like to do most. But the Cliff College of Creative Arts has a lot going on, and I want to share some information about some things going on this week. We're very happy to be supported by our dean, Phyllis Paul, who's over here on the side. Please thank her. All the departments have a lot going on this week. So need more music. Dana alumnus Sean Barron, there's a concert of his. He's an amazing pianist performing the virtuosic piano works. That's going to be, you can find that tonight on the Cliff College YouTube page and in the McDonough Museum YouTube page. That's part of our Dana alumni series. Also, the Department of Theater and Dance, 3 more performances of their groundbreaking production of Tennessee Williams' Glass Menagerie. You can watch those tonight through the Cliff College or Department of Theater and Dance YouTube pages tonight, and then tomorrow 2 productions. Please check that out. The Department of Art, the faculty exhibition at the McDonough Museum of Art is ongoing. Go check that out. The McDonough Museum is right next door to Bliss Hall. And 2 other music events going on this week. Wednesday night, October 7th, evening is the American Made concert. Probably familiar with this concert. Usually happens at the George Center every year. We had to postpone it, but now it's going to be streamed Wednesday night, featuring proud Dana alumnus Bob DiPiero, amazing legendary Nashville songwriter. He and some friends will be performing from the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville, historic landmark music venue. So please check that out. That'll be on the YSU Facebook Live page Wednesday evening, October 7th. And on October 8th, the YSU Wind Ensemble will be performing a Music at Noon concert. I know those concerts are usually on Wednesday. This will be on Thursday, October 8th at Harrison Common Field, right behind Bliss Hall. They'll be playing a series of works where we've had to adapt to using smaller bands, but please come to that show. And more concerts to come. The Dana Honors Recital Series will be starting next week, featuring many of our top graduate students and undergraduate students. So there's a lot going on in the arts. There's a lot to enjoy around here in Youngstown. I want to thank the Department of Athletics for letting us use this space, the football team for coming out, and thank you so much for being here. Go Penguins! Okay, another group you see behind us here, they joined us to start the show. They're a group that we spent time with on the road. This year we were eager to travel to Akron. We had that date circled on our calendar. I'm sure they did too, but we weren't able to make that opportunity happen. We spent time together on the road after long road trips on buses and whatnot, so it's nice to be together here in an environment where we can kind of showcase each other. They have 2 outstanding instructors, Jenna Stacy Schneider and Michelle Marcota. They're behind me, right here, sitting, right there we go. And they're great friends to have on long bus rides to and from Detroit, wherever we're going. Valparaiso, East Lansing, Morgantown. So anyways, I'll be quiet, and this is our YSU cheerleading squad.
Youngstown! We are! Youngstown! We are! Youngstown! We are! Youngstown! Shout it out! We are! Youngstown! We are! Youngstown! 2, 3! Go Big Red! YSU! Go State! 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 YSU! Go State!
Are we ready to hear more play? All right, great. This is our, what we call our halftime show. I'll do some announcements here, but halftime show number 1. We spent a lot of time on this. Without further ado, our announcer,
Masks up, everyone.
let's make sure we're 6 feet apart, and if you have them, a Clorox wipe wouldn't hurt. We're not gonna lie, it's just good to be out here on the field. Past 7 months have been difficult on everyone, young and old. With feature twirler Brooke Schaefer's out front, perhaps the offspring summed it up best when they said that these kids aren't all right. Has written many classic charts that stand the test of time. We feature our Penguinettes in color guard with one of his anthems that resonates now just as much as it did in 1983. Times may be tough and you may be knocked down, but looking like a true survivor, these wins are still standing. What is important to all of us and to think about the world going forward. But we got through it with the hard work of many healthcare and essential workers, of which so many of our alums are a part, including Director of Health, Dr. Amy Acton. With all 4 of our feature twirlers, we give them this upbeat chart to get them through, and us, the dark days. This is The Weeknd's Blinding Lights. We appreciate the pain and suffering that COVID-19 has brought upon so many. But through all the adversity and challenges, we can rise up and be on top once again. With the penultimate chart for the hit musical movie, The Greatest Showman, we close with featured twirler Brooke Schaefer's out front on From Now On. YSU Marching Pride.
So we're going to do a couple more things here. There's our halftime show, our music and whatnot. We've put so much time into just getting that prepared. I just want to thank our students. You know, as Dr. Goldberg said, we're not alone here. Across campus, across the country, everybody's in this. And, you know, our students, of all the people that we work and deal with on a daily basis, they're eager to follow our instructions. They do what we're told and have made managing everything with, you know, pandemic life really simple. So let's give another round of applause for our great students behind me. Senior parents, go ahead and make their way down. We're going to do a couple not filler things, but a couple cheers that we've added, and also to refresh your memory on. Before we play those, I would like to introduce our teaching staff, our field staff, and our graduate assistant that you can't see. He's up above on a camera right now. Behind, every great university marching band is a really terrific staff filled with great people. It's not about one person, okay? Whether you've seen us at Crash or Penguin Preview Days, you see us at home games, you see us at high school performances, you see us wherever we are on the road, there's a big network behind our organization that makes us function and operate so you enjoy us while you see us. And these are people here that they're paid for 3 or 4 months, but they're on the clock year-round for us with workshops that they host, being the face of our organization in the public, posting auditions and workshops. So without further ado, and the exciting part this year is this is my 11th year here, and they've all become former students on our staff, which is exciting and really rewarding too. Our first teaching staff member is Rebecca Russell. She is an English grad and a former captain of our color guard line. This is Rebecca Russell from Austintown. The next person is a familiar face we've seen as a student. She graduated in 2018 with a degree in special education, and she teaches in the Liberty School District. As is the case with life, things change, people have other goals and needs in their life, and we didn't get a chance to properly, I guess we did on social media, but our previous instructor, Shannon, is here today. She was with us for 7 years. And she's been helpful, but again, this is to introduce the actual person. This is Gianna Pesh. She comes to us from Hubbard, Ohio. Trying to be polite here. This is Gianna Thompson. She got married this summer too, so congratulations as well. That's why I'm asking here, did I mess up? I'm going off base again, so anyway. Next is another, Dylan was here for year 1. He was on, I think you were on our snare line or tenor line, I forget. And another student who became our instructor. He's been with us. If you're at Canfield High School, you see him on Friday nights working with their drum line and Mr. Kelly and Mr. Drumness. So this is Dylan Colat, our drum line instructor. Another student, is this your 4th year on campus, Mitch? Mitch is an expedited learner here. He's already got an undergrad degree under his belt and is actually a bona fide graduate student, but he was a history major and pursuing graduate studies in that same area, I believe, and he enjoyed us so much he's back here helping us out with our drum line and whatnot. So he is our student assistant with Dylan this year. This is Mitchell Top from Seneca Valley High School. Graduated today. Our field staff, and some of them are here, some of them are up working, doing different things. These are people that help us set up, they help us play, they help us teach. They're the utility people, they're the gophers, go do this at the last second. Upperclassmen, a lot of them are music ed majors to get that practical experience, see how things run behind the scenes. So they're set up to stand on their own 2 feet with all the logistical responsibilities. First, we have Jamar Lee of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, a music major in the Danish School on clarinet. Go ahead. We'll do it individually here. There we go. Next is Maria Mangine. She comes to us from Lowellville, Ohio, and Lowellville, Ohio High School. This is Maria's 3rd year at Youngstown State University, and she is a music education major. Let's hear it for Maria. And last but not least is our equipment manager. He's also my handler when we're on the road. If I have any troubles, I just redirect him to Kyle. But Kyle is the spine behind our band as far as equipment needs go, instrument checkout, a stressed out band director when there's no batteries, etc. So this is Kyle Zimmerman from East Palestine, Ohio, and East Palestine High School. Kyle? Section leaders, I promise we're going to get you at another time. Our clock is ticking here a little bit. We just had a little bit of a late start to make sure we got everybody in today. It's exciting when there's a line outside for our event, so thank you again. Our head drum major from Liberty, Ohio, Gerard. I was 11 years and I still get it. I'm sorry. Not that they're not rivals or anything. This is Anthony Bonamace from Gerard High School. He's our head drum major. And then he is in his 4th year as a music education major, and will be student teaching this spring. Our Our assistant drum major is a second-year student. He's a sophomore, again from Louisville. It's a hotbed of great band students in Louisville. Mr. Antonucci does great things down there. We have John Fitch on euphonium. Before we take you through a couple of announcements here, we had a 50-50. We thought even with the pandemic we could figure something out. It's not an event in Northeast Ohio if we're not doing the 50-50, all right? So I've got it here. And before I forget to introduce two of the most important people behind the scenes, let's read our 50-50 number here. You can just come right down to the field, and you can grab it from one of our staff members. We'll have it. So it's number, red ticket, 320097. That's 320097. So if that's yours, just go ahead and come on right down the stairs, and we'll have one of our staff members over there waiting with you. Last but not least, I'm going to hand this off to you. Last but not least, we had a new cheer last year that we played in our entry tunnel for the captains. We have another one this year. We have fourth year, another music education major, Bruce Deal, and that's a great part of our students become engaged and they want to become immersed in what we do, and they write arrangements and they create music for us to play, and we work together and have a product for us to perform. So we're going to start with a new one. It's called Penguin Paradise. Maybe you recognize it from Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. Also, Coolio redid that in the 90s as well. So we have a penguin cheer to go on top of the arrangement. So we're going to play that a couple times for you. Pick up the cheer and then feel free to join in with us. And this is by senior music education major Bruce Deal. Bruce, will you wave to us back there? There we go. There's Bruce. And this is Bruce's arrangement of Pastime Paradise by Stevie Wonder, or what we're calling Penguin Paradise. Here we go, from the top. Our new graduate assistant, and that's one of the fun parts of graduate students that we have, is they come in with such a great wealth of experience from their pathways. I won't embarrass him with my
my usual YSU success story, but our graduate assistant comes to us from Austintown via Albuquerque, New Mexico. He left us and went to pursue euphonium performance. He's back with us pursuing a master's degree in music education. He spent 2 years with the Wolfpack Marching Band at the University of New Mexico, or the Lobos Marching Band, rather, not the Wolfpack. Losing track of canines here. Anyways, but this is Richie Dickinson is back as a Penguin, back there in the middle. He's running our camera today. Richie Dickinson, our graduate assistant, and next to him, I forgot to announce Nick Petuzzi. He streams our rehearsals, helps us so much with social media, but he's helping Richie out back there. He's also one of our field staff members, and he's right back there working today with his computer. But that's Nick Petuzzi from Austintown High School, a second-year music education major at the Danish school. Before we announce our seniors and bring their parents out, we have one more cheer for you to play for you. It's our Go Hard cheer that you heard played in the tunnel last year. We'll go ahead and rattle that off for you. Feel free to cheer along. We'll have all of our senior members go ahead and come down to the top of our numbers here. We'll go ahead and clear color guard and penguinets off. So in lieu of a final home game where we recognize our seniors and pay tribute to them, it's October, but it's also, while we're here together, a chance for them to be recognized and honored for their service and commitment to Youngstown State University. Before we do this, once we finish this segment, we're going to block up and march right out of here so we stay separated from each other. Wait till we clear out, and then you all can take off. Before I do that, one other really important group of people. It's a day to share with our performance, but also a day to share thanks for all. We talk about support systems behind us. Faculty from the Dana School of Music that are here today. Will you stand and just wave at everybody? Faculty from the Dana School. I see Professor Shaft is here. I see Dr. Talon all the way to the back. Wave big and proud for us. Dr. Gage, Dr. Gage is even here. I don't want to say too much about Dr. Gage, but that he is here today. He was at the Cleveland Clinic on Wednesday, so he is, I think he's bulletproof. But we're so happy to see you standing up, and go Dodgers, by the way. So let's go ahead and have our senior parents go ahead and come up to the yard line here, and we're going to go ahead and go on down the line. Our first senior is Cassidy Bartelski. Go ahead and step forward and wave, Cassidy. Cassidy is a criminal justice major, and this is her 4th year in the Marching Pride. And she was nice enough to buy my lunch at McDonald's. Anyway, Thursday. Yesterday. Our next senior, Anthony Bonamace from Girard High School. Our head drum major. Mom and Dad, you can come on out and stand with them. Our next senior is Billy Cook. Billy is a 4th-year member of the 5th-year member of the Marching Pride and an industrial and systems engineering major. Next comes from Jefferson High School, Holly Felton, and she is a social studies ed major. Mr. and Mrs. Dalton at basketball games to catch up before the Penguins tip off. Our next student is another music education major in the Dana School. This is Cindy DiCenzo. I finally got it right after 4 years. Cindy DiCenzo.
another four-year instrumental music education major with us. Next, Kaylee Dillon from Columbus, Ohio. Kaylee is a biology and psychology major. All these engineering and biology majors, remember us when we call in 5 or 10 years for donations, okay? Good. Our next, sorry Dean Paul if that was too much. Our next is Hannah Hefner, is our next senior. She is a criminal justice major as well. Next is our feature twirler, our captain feature twirler, Brooke Schaefer, and she is a biology major. Woo! Next is Christian Padula from Warren G. Harding High School. Christian is another criminal justice major. Vincenzo, and I've got this next one too. A member this year that we were excited to have join us, this is Lanastasius Parnick. She is an exercise science major joining us as well this year. I'm going to say it twice, Lanastasius, I got it. And last but not least, Austin Watson from Howland High School in Howland, Ohio, is another engineering major, mechanical engineer. Let's hear a big round of applause for all of our seniors right up here in front. Big round of applause. Big bow. Thank you so much, seniors. We'll just have you hang here and enjoy the recognition while Mr. Markovich. And I'm glad I noticed this. Mr. Markovich is someone, he works pro bono for us. If you need someone to take some senior pictures, wedding pictures, etc., tmark5@aol.com. Yes, he's here every Saturday with us. He travels with us. He's just a very generous and kind person that gives us his time and service. Mr. Markovich, the photographer of the Marching Pride. And as I said before, with our teaching staff, behind any organization and university are people that create opportunities financially, through opportunity here with performing in Marching Pride. The pullovers that you see don't grow on trees, the snare heads, the drumsticks, the uniforms. We have our dean and department chair advocate for us, and there is no bigger fan of ours on campus than President Tressel, who unfortunately was unable to join us today, but I'd just like to recognize Dean Paul, Dr. Goldberg, and also to President Tressel. Okay, this wraps up our segment of the program. Anything we want to hear one more time before we take off? Any suggestions? Fight song it is. All right, let's have everybody fall in. We'll rattle off fight song singing one more time, and then we'll block up and take off. Thank you so much for joining us today. Keep your eyes open on social media. We have more versions of our halftime show that you saw coming out. Stay plugged in there. Details and information coming down about how to see us at basketball games, but also too at some spring football. Hey, what else besides spring football during a pandemic? All right. Have a safe trip home. Have a safe afternoon. Thank you so much for being with us today. Go Penguins.
It is. That's so funny.